Michael, good morning, Michael. How are you? Michael, we should have loan docs today, okay? Yeah, I just got off the phone with the lender. He's expecting loan docs any minute. All right, so we'll get those, depending on how quick escrow moves, hopefully we'll get those signed either late today or early tomorrow. All right? Yeah, let them know. Yeah, if we get those early today, we should be able to get those signed today. And if we need a notary, I got a notary that will go take care of it.
Good morning, everybody. Let's get started.
Good morning.
Yeah, I can arrange a notary. So there's a tell her when you call escrow, let her know.
Here's the formula. Here's the formula. 70% of your time, energy, and money devote to generating relational leads. You know what most agents do? They spend almost nothing there, and it represents more than half their business. And they spend all this money over here that costs all this time that gives them leads that aren't that as trusting as the referral ones. Are you guys with me? The key is, can you generate a referral? Well, I think so. I think 1 out of every 8 homes in America would testify to that. Are you guys with me? 20% of your time on digital and 20% of your time and money on conventional. That's shifted. That's not the way it was 5 years ago. But that's, I'm sorry? Did I say 20? Good, you're paying attention. I finally met an audience of realtors that could do more than multiply by 3%. That's valuable. But remember, multiplying by 3% is your first mathematical discipline. All right, let's talk about it right now. We're going to bridge this gap. You want to assess the quality of the lead. Can you highlight the word quality? This is a crucial word in your business. Quality leads. You're not just looking for leads, you're looking for quality leads. Is there a difference in leads? Are all people created equal? Yes, that's a document you Americans signed on to. All people are created equal. Are all leads equal? No. No. What would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, give me a number for an online internet lead? Okay. We'll go on the lower scale. Fair? What number would you put on a sign call? Yeah, it's better, right? What number would you put on a referral? Maybe 8 to 10. What about a referral from your grandmother? It's a 12. Because if you don't close grandma's referrals, she's giving you the money anyway, isn't that right? Okay, so you're going, go on. The great Joe Nigo says this: the quality of a lead is directly related to the source from which it comes. End of story. The quality of a lead is directly related to the source from which it comes. The quality of a lead is directly related to the source of which it comes. Where are your leads coming from? And are you directing and controlling the process? If you direct the process, you're in control of your business. If you don't direct the process, you're not in control of your business.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to share that with you because Brian Buffini, believe it or not, well, he's not responsible for this, but if you guys speak to Marjorie Tyson and Christina Furneaux in our office, they both have subscribed to his coaching. And, you know, Marjorie and especially Christina are really kicking butt this year with COVID going on and everything. So I recommend that you look into him. If you don't, want to spend the money to sign up for his coaching at this time, you can go on YouTube and listen to, a lot of his videos and what he has to share with you. But his biggest thing is by referral only, right? And let me just share a quick thing with you about that. If you ever get a call from a client saying, hey, Benny, I referred you Renee. He's going to be calling you in the next few days. They're looking to buy a house. Automatically take control of that situation and say, hey, thanks for doing that. If you don't mind, and if it's okay with them, could you share their phone number with me and I'll reach out to them? Because it's happened in the past where people will say this to you and, they'll never call you and you'll just sit there wondering, whatever happened? So you want to take the initiative and the action to reach out to this person that somebody's referring you. And again, just like Brian Buffini just said right now, the power of that lead depends on who it comes from, right? So if it's one of your past clients, they worked with you, they know you, like you, and trust you, and you delivered results, then trust me, they spoke highly of you to that other person. And you know, that other person, chances of you closing them, probably about a 97-98% chance that you will be able to get them into a home or sell their home if they are really buyers and sellers. So just something to keep in mind, guys. We will move on. My question for the week, sorry, my quote for the week is, the questions you ask are more important than the things you could ever say. And you know what? I totally screwed this slide up, guys, because it's not actually C.S. Lewis. It's David Fries, and he actually wrote a book called Question-Based Selling. If you guys remember, many years ago, Star Power, I can't remember off the top of my head, I can't remember the guy who created Star Power, but he interviewed these guys in Vegas that actually applied the question-based selling principle to their market out in Vegas. And man, they were killing it. They were doing 200 plus transactions a year. And basically, you know, like I always say, guys, don't be afraid to ask the big questions. You know, hey, if I can't get you a house with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in Cypress for the payment that you want, is that it? You're not going to move forward? Yeah, no, I'm not going to move forward. All right, great. Well, at least now I know, right? But more so just asking the questions of, hey, you know, is this what you're looking for? If this happened, what would you do with this? So just, you know, different things. I really highly recommend that book, Question-Based Selling by David Fries. All right, let's move on to buyer wants and needs. Anybody got anything? I know that currently we don't have any listings. John Greer, do you have something coming up? Anybody else on the call got something coming up that you want to share? Anybody got anything? Okay, because I know that we don't have any listings right now. I know that everybody's got a buyer. You know, actually yesterday, David Grimm was sharing with me, he says that when people ask him right now, how's the market? He goes, you know what? The market is doing really well, but we could really use another listing. We have a lot of buyers right now, but we could really use another listing. Do you know anybody that wants to sell? And he attributes that script to Mike Ferry. So just something to keep in mind, guys, when you're talking to somebody out there. The market is really good, but we could really use another listing right now. Our inventory is really limited. We have a lot of buyers. Do you know anybody that's looking to make a move right now? Anybody that's thinking of selling? So, all right, well, we'll move on. Let's look at the numbers, guys. Well, it is the beginning of August. So remember, if you remember last week, we had 17 pending transactions. Well, it actually bumped up to 20 over the weekend, but then those 3 that it bumped up to, whatever the new ones were, the oldest ones on there actually closed yesterday on Monday. So we already have 3, and we're on the 4th day of August. So I think that's pretty good. But congrats to everybody that's opened escrow. Honestly, I think 20 that we hit in the month of July. I think that's an awesome number, you know, for the size of office that we have. So congratulations to you all. A big pat on the back. Bernadette, I know you've been working really hard. Gene Browning has really been working hard too. Renee, Rosie Malgoza, the Morales team. Angie Sandoval has been, gosh, I signed, she just opened another escrow yesterday. So some of these guys are not completely everything. I know Dave Grimm closed one yesterday, and it wasn't on SkySlope yet. He's going to upload it today. So, you know, even though I'm telling you guys that we had 20 pending, we might have done a couple more than that. So congrats, Don Roberts and Carrie, Nancy and Fang, Jolie Piccolini, And again, look, Nancy killing it. Awesome. And then the closings for, like I said, first few closings of the month, Marjorie Tyson, congrats. Wasn't I just talking about her, guys? She's a big time Buffini, and she shared with me that it's actually working. You know, and one of the things that she gets, her and Christina get, that's no secret, guys. They get this box, and it has a like a letter, and it's an item of value. And then the other thing that they get too is like note cards, right? And they're encouraged to write these note cards. They also get a CRM, so they could, you know when to call a certain client or a past client, whatnot, or sphere of influence. And what they do, they reprint this letter and they mail it out. And I mean, you know, Christina does share with you, yeah, well, those deals that I closed last month, there are people I met 4 years ago, but she stayed in touch, right? I don't know what her year-to-date closings are, but I know that she's probably in our top 10 in the entire company. And I'll tell you that in the last 2 months, she easily closed 8 to 10 deals in 2 months. So obviously it works. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Cool. John Greer, are you on?
There we go. I had to unmute.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Anything you want to share with us, John?
Yeah, I had a couple things. First of all, good morning, everybody. Man, I always talk about the weather. It's been July, August that we don't have crazy heat waves, so that's nice.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I thought just to kind of mention to you guys is the one of the way. Okay, I should step back. Is that right now there's such a shortage of homes for sale, and there's a supply of buyers that multiple offers and price hikes over list and what have you. But also some of them to think about are waiving the appraisal contingency or waiving the inspection contingencies. And I just wanted to kind of say, hey, you guys, be careful with that. For instance, the appraisal contingency, if I'm a listing agent and somebody's doing that, I'm going to want to see proof of funds that they have the money in case it does come in less than the overbid that your client put in, right? And maybe even over comparable sales out there. So, and that your client fully understands that they're going to have to come up with that cash. So, be careful with that one. And with the waiving the inspection, I mean, those two things could actually get your offer accepted, maybe at a lower price than what somebody else put in. But then the same thing, the buyer needs to perform. And where I'm saying to be careful there is it better be a pretty nice house as far as you can tell. And once they get in there and they find a major problem because they waived their contingency to have an inspection, can fall right back on you. Oh, well, my agent's the one that talked me into that, and I wanted to have one, but they talked me out of it, and now I've got to replace the roof or $2,000 air conditioning charge. So I'm just saying, it's a way to get your offers through, but be very careful. And each individual time, especially with removing the inspection contingency with a first-time buyer, let's say they're going FHA, minimum down, and they don't have any extra cash. I don't know, if it would have to be each individual buyer won't work for everybody. But anyway, I wanted to give heads up there, Benny. And then also, I was thinking about this. I've been talking to these people about selling their home here for about a month. I worked up an evaluation for them, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And I'm not expecting them. I'm going to meet them tonight, but I'm not expecting them to list it yet tonight. But depending on how long this goes, I would highly recommend it. And this is happening all the time to me. I've got another one where they want to get the house cleaned up before I even come to see it. I'm like, okay, but check your comps again. I'm seeing here late July home sale prices up 11%, largest annual increase since 2014. So if you initially meet with them and then maybe it's 2 weeks to a month or longer before you actually get it on the market, you may want to go back and update the homeowner and yourself with any recent comps to see what's going on out there. So just some thoughts, Benny. I'll turn it back to you.
That's great info, guys. It's funny, guys. Eventually, once you get more experience, guys, you're gonna, depending on how much experience you have, you can either become a shark in the water, and it just depends. But I always tell a lot of you, and John Greer doesn't like this, but I'll say, hey, if you're contingent, if you have a listing that you're selling and you're submitting offers, most agents are going to look at that and go, I don't know, right? Especially if your listing isn't under contract. So I always say, I go, well, if you put a contingency on your my offer is contingent upon my listing selling, well, how many contingencies do you have now? Remember, guys, you have an appraisal, a loan, an inspection. Now you added a fourth one, right? So keep in mind that, sometimes you have 4 outs there. With the one that John said, he says inspection contingency and then your appraisal contingency. If you remove those, you still have your loan contingency in place, so you still have an out. But here's the thing. The goal in writing an offer, if your client's like, look, I really want this place, I got to get it, the goal is not to cancel. Right. So having those outs that, great, you have those outs. That's not really the point. The point is getting the deal closed. So do your like John said, do your homework beforehand. Make sure it's going to appraise. Make sure that your clients aren't going to freak out on the inspection, and that way you'll have a successful close. So something to keep in mind, guys. And then the other thing with what he's saying about the listings right now on the comps, just like that home that I listed in Downey a month ago, where I told my client, hey, don't be surprised if we end up selling for 10 grand less, and we ended up going for 50 grand over asking. Just know that there's closings happening like that right now, overbid. And so your value 2 months ago is not the same as it is today. So something to keep in mind. Try to shorten down the days on market on your comps. It has to be something recent in the last 2 weeks, so you could really see what those values are, because they are changing very rapidly. I showed a home in La Mirada on Sunday, and I pulled up 15 minutes before the appointment. There was a realtor and agents walking away, a realtor and clients walking away, and then immediately another one went in to go show it. Then it was our time. We went in to look at it, came out, and there was another group lined up, 2 groups actually lined up. Then me and my client stood outside talking a little bit, and he goes, what do you think? I go, this is going to go 30 to 50 grand over ask, man. I'm pretty sure that that's where it's going to be. So just, make sure that you talk to your buyers too, and let them know that these are things that are going to be happening out there in the market right now. So let's move on to Christy Rye and the Rye team.
So good morning, everyone. So kind of to piggyback what you just talked about, Benny, and what John was talking about. In June, CAR, according to their research, found the June home prices have hit the highest median home price in California's history of $623,000 for the median for the entire state. That's the highest it's ever been. So yeah, home prices have just been going up and up and up.
Yeah.
So one thing I was going to talk about today, and I don't know if I could share screen real briefly.
Yeah, give me a sec.
All right, perfect. So I was just going to talk about corporations, because we've seen recently a couple instances, oops, still not letting me share, where we've had LLCs or partnerships or corporations as the potential buyers. And something we really want agents to be aware of is how to check if they're still in good standing with the state. Because if they are not in good standing with the state, you're gonna, and they're trying to buy, they're gonna have to get themselves reinstated, and that's just a time-consuming process. And it's incredibly, incredibly easy to check. And so I'm gonna pull up the chat as well so I can post the link in there. So this is the Secretary of State's website for California. And so I just put in the link in the chat, and all you have to do is you go here to the business search, and down here there is a search bar. You put in if it's an LLC or it's a corporation, or if you happen to have the entity number. Every corporation has their own unique entity number, and you can put in the for LLC name, Paper Planes. This is one that we worked with recently. And so you can see here all the different companies, all the different LLCs in California with that name. And you can look right here, active. This is the one we worked with. So since it's active, we know now, okay, if this person's putting in the offer, this is a real company. They're good standing with the state, so you don't have to wait, because the wait time right now is, I think, like 2 weeks for them to get back in good standing. So if they're not in good standing, you don't want them as a potential buyer, because that's just wasting your time. And you can see this one, canceled. You don't want to deal with this person. FTB suspended. They didn't pay their taxes. You don't want to work with this one either. So this is incredibly, incredibly easy. And I'm just going to click on it so we can look at the details a bit more. You can order a certificate of status to prove that they are in good standing. It's, I believe, $5, $7. It should say. I don't want to make them. Yeah, $5. It's not even expensive for them either. So you can just request from them, hey, I want a certificate of status to just prove that you're in good standing. The other thing I would ask, if they're coming to the table with a good offer, I can stop sharing there, is you're going to need paperwork from them. If they're a corporation, you're going to need bylaws. If they're an LLC, you're going to need operating agreement. And if they're partnership, you're going to need the partnership agreement. And this is just so that the person who is representing them does have authority to buy in their name. Escrow is going to need it. But if you ask them right away when you're sitting down with them, do you have this paperwork? And they're kind of confused or they don't know what's going on, that's a warning sign to me. That means they don't have their act together. So even if they're in good standing, if they don't have their paperwork all in order, ready at the drop of the hat, I would probably pass on to, because you're getting multiple offers at this point, I'd probably pass on to another offer, because these people don't know what they're doing.
Got it. Hey, guys, thank you, Keegan, for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely have I seen an LLC buy. You're going to see LLCs buying more, of an investment property, something that's going to be fixed and flipped. So on those angles, yeah, if you have a property with deferred maintenance and it is selling at a much lower price than what turnkey properties are going for, then yeah, you're going to see LLCs out there. But for the most part, on your standard traditional residential, you might not see that often. So, but
we've just seen a weird. We've just seen like a weird couple of times recently where LLCs have been buying, and so we just want to make agents aware of that.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. Thank you for sharing. That's great information. And no, totally. They might be a newbie investor that.
I don't know what's going on. I think some of the people have just seen the housing market and they're like, I want to invest right now because the lending rates are so good, and so they just made an LLC.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have another meeting that's actually starting right now, so
cool. Awesome.
I'm going to head off.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the call. We appreciate it.
Thank all of you.
All right, Mr. Money, Joe Coy.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I got a few updates for you this morning. I'll start off with the rates. Rates are essentially unchanged from last week. If anything, maybe slightly lower, but you're still looking about 2.75 on an FHA loan, 2.75 on a VA loan, 2.875 on a conforming conventional loan amount, and about 3.0 on a high balance conventional loan amount. So again, rates are excellent across the board. The first update I wanted to give you guys was in regards to FHA loans. So they recently made an announcement that's effective August 12th, and this is in regards to rental income. So if you have rental properties that you claim on your tax returns, they're going to reduce the effective income by 25%, or you can meet one of two requirements and they'll use the effective income per the tax returns. So those requirements would either be 6 months reserves or having 2 months proof of receipt of income, rental income from those properties. So sometimes people get paid rental income in cash, or maybe multiple payments, and it's hard for them to document that it actually was from their tenant for the full amount of rent. But if they can document they've got that full amount of rent for the last 2 months or the 6 months reserves, we're going to use their full rental income. Otherwise, it has to be reduced by 25%. This is essentially compensating for the increase in rental relief requests from tenants. We haven't seen a change for conventional mortgages. I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming down the road. The next thing that I want to update you guys on was down payment assistance. The Cal HAFA organization recently reduced their interest rate on their My Home product. So the My Home is the second trust deed that helps you cover your down payment and your closing costs. The interest rate was previously 2.5%, and they recently reduced it to 2.0%. So again, this is for their second trust deed. This is simple interest, so it's not accruing interest on top of interest, and it went from 2.5% down to 2.0. So that's a positive change in the mortgage industry. But yeah, that's what I got for you this morning.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for being on the call.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have 70 on the call? I'm sure she's probably on a different meeting. She's got so many. All right, should I go going once, going twice? All right, and property ID, I don't think he's on. All right. There's a couple of things that were shared today in our managers meeting with corporate guys. And so one of the things was, which I really didn't understand why, and it was just short and brief. Amanda Warnick was on for about 15 minutes and she shared a couple of things with us. So I took some screenshots to share with you guys, but through our resource center, you can become a VA loan certified agent, okay? Which you're not lenders, but I guess it's just so that you know how the processing of a VA loan works and what the requirements are and you know, other little details that are important. The thing with this, if you do go, I heard it was probably like a 4-hour course. Once you get certified in our BHHS network, if you do have that certification and a lead does come through that is a VA and you're certified, you may receive that lead. A question was asked if there was a referral fee that would need to be paid and what would the cost be. Well, you know, I think it's just like standard referrals going across the country. So your average referral is usually about 25%. So that's what I'm guessing you would probably have to, you know, pay back on a referral on this. But just another way of getting more business guys, especially in a time like now where it's a little bit difficult to prospect. Why not take advantage of the time, go into the resource center, become certified, and who knows, maybe it'll lead to just one transaction. But guess what? That one transaction, what, $10,000, $15,000 commission check for what, free? 4 hours of your time. So something to consider. And then, so after you become VA loan certified, you would also become VA certified. And as you can see there, they have one coming up August 12th. And that's the link there, if you guys could screenshot that right now. And this is through BHHS. So, you know, sometimes in the past, I remember hearing people go, well, why am I paying a franchise fee for? You know, I don't get anything out of it. Well, here's things that you could get out of it. The potential of getting more business by becoming certified through these programs. So that's the link down there, guys. I really recommend doing it. If you guys don't do it, shame on you, because I'm definitely going to do it. So, you know, VA, man, you already know that they qualify. Usually, most veterans either stay with the services or end up being police officers or some kind of other government job. So, you know, they qualify. Usually they have great credit. If they're police officers, they have excellent credit. they can't have bad credit. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want to work with somebody like that? So something to think about. The other thing that Amanda Warnick was saying, and I agree with her 100%, guys, last night I was driving home and I don't know, one of the schools here in Cypress over near Sizzler, I don't know what school that is, but it said there on the LED sign, school will resume August 31st. I think that's the date. And what does that tell you, guys? Things are coming back, right? If that school is going to be opening back, it's resuming August 31st, then things are coming back. So I wouldn't be surprised if by October we're out full blown doing open houses and things of that nature. So don't be surprised. This will be over very soon. So she was just sharing that another benefit of your 7% franchise fee is tickets at work. And basically, if you go to that website, Tickets at Work, and you use that company code HSF949, basically you could buy tickets to hotel stays, theme parks, concerts, sporting events, movie tickets. You could get discounts at retail, restaurants, and spas, rental cars, gift cards, Broadway shows, Vegas shows, and more. So, something to think about. I think my last training last Thursday, I did the BHHS Resource Center, and I showed everybody this link where there was all these discounts. You could get money off of your car insurance, Geico, just because you're a BHHS agent. Tiffany will give you a discount. Hilton Hotels gives you a discount. And the list goes on and on. Check it out, BHHS Resource, guys. There's a lot of things there that you need to take advantage. Your cell phone bill. I get 20% off my cell phone bill every month because I'm a BHHS agent. So just, a little value there. And then, of course, what she was saying is, look, in a couple months, you're going to be able to go to theme parks. You're going to be able to go to concerts. It's coming back. Like I said, that school, August 31st, it's going to resume. So, try to maybe save some money by using these discounts that you earn. So the last thing that she mentioned was Sage, which is our CRM that our company put together with Salesforce. And she says that there's a couple of hiccups right in the beginning, just like with everything else. But as of this month, they've done all of these new engagement plans and automated target marketing. One of our agents here, Min, they talked about her because she has about 200 market activity reports. What those are is if you have somebody that you sold a home to maybe 2 years ago, you put them on that market activity email, and it sends them every month how their home is doing, what the values are in that neighborhood, how it's performing. And, it keeps you top of mind, and you set it and forget it. And then the other thing is it could eventually lead to them selling, right? They might come back and go, Benny, did this house really go up 200K in 2 years? Yeah, it did. Great, we want to sell. So just something to think about. This CRM, guys, Salesforce is the #1 CRM in the world. And then our integration to it, which is Sage. I mean, you can't go wrong. So please, take advantage of these things. You pay for them. So in your resource center, Sage. All right. For the last portion of, and we probably will end up taking about 30 minutes, but there's objections out there, that people will give you, hey, will you cut your commission? We have an agent. We're gonna, we've never seen you sell in our neighborhood. Those are the standard objections that you guys have heard over the past few years. And you've got Tom Ferry and Brian Buffini and Mike Ferry that have, all kinds of reports out there on how you can handle these objections. But I wanted to really see the objections that we're getting today. So just to start, I think one that I've gotten is no one is buying or selling during COVID. And please don't be shy. I'm going to pick on a couple of you and just, see what your response would be. And guys, there's no right or wrong answer. I think us sharing this You know, it'll just help us get stronger in handling, as these objections are real. People are asking these questions. So I'm going to pick on, hopefully she doesn't get upset, but Nancy, have you gotten this objection, Nancy?
I I actually get people asking that question, not necessarily
Okay,
saying it as a statement,
got it.
but
And what have you said? What is your reply to them?
I say it's really based on each individual situation, because
Okay.
there's like some people who are still employed, still like doing really well during COVID, whereas there are people who, you know, have lost their jobs and a lot of things have changed.
Yeah,
So then I try to bring it back to them as an individual and just hear what's going on with them in their lives and then
got
go from there.
got it. Good, good. Yeah, that's a great response. You know, even pre-COVID, when people will ask me, you know, how's the market, I always, you know, do exactly what you just said, is dial it back on them. So I'll say, you know, it depends on what that specific person is trying to do. What are you looking to do in the market? You know, oh no, we just wanted, it was just a general question. Oh, got it. All right, great. Or no, we were thinking of possibly moving. You know, but one thing, guys, that I would share is if you get this, not the objection like Nancy said, but more of like just a question. I would say, you know, in July, my office actually opened or sold 20 transactions. Now, you know, and that's hard for people to relate, because to some people they're like, 20, oh my gosh, you guys should be doing 100. Or some people might go, 20, wow, that's a lot. So it just depends on who that person is. But you know, I would still say, yeah, you know, 20, you know, on average we usually do about 12 to 15 transactions, but we actually did 20 in July, even though, you know, the news says that, you know, everything's shut down and we're on a lockdown and whatnot. And then another thing I would say is, again, I would attribute it to the rates being so low, that's why people are doing that. Okay, well, thank you, Nancy, for sharing that. I'm going to ask one more, another person here. Rosie, don't be shy, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was like, how do I unmute myself? So I was not shy. It's just that.
Cool.
Yeah. The same question. No one is buying or selling during COVID.
Yeah.
What I said is that it's actually the contrary. It's the market is hot, and I explained them the reasons that there's, you know, few houses on the market, a lot of buyers that are taking advantage of the rates, and then I said, well, if you're ready, you're ready. It doesn't matter the time. What is happening? You know, if you're ready to buy, I'm ready to help you, and you know, it goes from there.
Yeah, and you know, Rosie, that's awesome, because you know, it's funny, when I get, you know, prior to COVID, when I got that question, how's the market, and then I would, you know, go back and say, well, it all depends on what you're trying to do. What is your situation? What are you looking to do in the market? It's funny. They would say, well, we're currently renting, and I would say, look, when you're renting, the best time to buy is now. You know, the sooner
Exactly.
you get in, the better. Real estate is not a short-term gain investment. It's a long-term gain. 10 years from today, you will see equity. You will see the benefits of owning your home, but you got to stop renting as soon as possible, because you're not getting any benefits out of that money. Whereas if you buy, as soon as you buy, you're going to see that reward, you know, not right away, but in a couple of years. And how crazy is this, right? In the last, if you think about it, guys, in the last 10 years, I have clients that made 200,000-300,000 in equity in a short period of almost less than 10 years, you know? And you know, it's so funny when you ask around to maybe somebody that's 50 or 60 years old, that's a homeowner. If you ask, you say, hey, you know, when you bought your home, were you nervous? Were you scared? Or, you know, was there a little fear? Oh yeah, the payment. I didn't know I was going to make the payment. I thought it was crazy. Well, what do you think now? Oh, it was the best thing I could have ever done. So, every buyer is going to go through that. They're going to have a little bit of a payment shock and a little bit of fear. But, the proof is in the numbers right now. Things are happening. Thank you, Rosie, for sharing sharing that with us. Let me
Thank
go.
you.
Let me go to the next one here. We're afraid the market will crash. Has anybody received this one? Has anybody gotten that?
Yes, I always get that because they always get information from that they don't understand. In reality, it's lack of information, and for that I try to get as much information as I can provide them and show them and say, hey, we never know when it's going to crash. There's the forecast is that it's not anytime soon. It's actually going up.
Good. Guys, the thing that I've said to people, and not recently, this is a couple years now, is look, after 2007's crash, a lot of the banks got bailed out, or maybe all of the banks got bailed out. And then they created with FHA loans or any loan that is less than 20% down, they created mortgage insurance. That ensures the bank that you borrowed from that they will get paid back on that loan if you default, right? So I go, now more than ever, people are getting extremely qualified, meaning that it's not, it wasn't like in the past when 80-20 loans were around, 100% financing. All you had to have is great credit and everything was stated income, right? Now you actually have to provide full documentation, and it's not easy. If you really look at, it might sound like it's pretty smooth and easy, but it's not. Joe Coy might have left the call already, but now more than ever, they're doing employment verifications, income verifications. Everything is very well checked. I remember when I sold a home, probably in like 2009, 2010, to a fireman, and but he worked at one of these refineries. So he's a fireman placed on a refinery, and he goes, hey man, they keep calling my work to make sure that I'm still working there. And I go, what do you mean, like multiple times? He goes, yeah, they've called like 3 to 4 times over there. My supervisor keeps telling me. Wow, that's crazy. So the banks after the crash, they were really strict, and I think they still are strict. So as far as a crash happening, guys, yes, you do have non-occupying co-signers that came around in this new market, but I personally don't see anything like that happening anytime soon. I think, like I said, all those loans are insured. So I don't know, but David Grimm, I'm gonna pick on you now. he's gonna say, man, this guy, I'm not buying you lunch today. David Grimm, can I unmute you, or can
yes,
you?
I'm here.
Hey, David, what you're a pretty experienced guy. If somebody were to say this to you, what would you reply? We're afraid the market will crash.
Well, I can appreciate your concern. However, there are no signs of that happening. Can you indicate anything in the economy where that might happen? And I would just kind of put it back on them.
Got it. Well, nobody's working. COVID. I heard nobody's working, and so people are not going to make their mortgage payment anymore.
Well, as I think it was Rosie that said, yeah, some people are affected by that, but it's a temporary situation where you don't base your long-term goal on a temporary situation.
Got it. Well, one more thing that I'll add to that, and thank you, Dave, for sharing. One more thing that I would add, guys, and notice how, Dave practices scripts, so notice how he first answered that question. But one more thing that I will add to that, guys, if you get asked this, is people say, oh, I heard people are going to stop paying their mortgages, so we're going to have a massive default, and you're going to have all these short sales again and all these foreclosures. No, actually, the banks gave almost everybody a 3-month forbearance almost automatically. Yeah, in some cases, people had to call it in, but for the most part, a lot of people got 3-month forbearance. And we've been in COVID for 5 months, so that means even if they didn't, if they got that forbearance, maybe they missed 2 payments. But and again, things are coming back, guys. Like I said, that sign on that school said, school starts again on December 31st. So let me see here. Okay, so all right, so let's go to the next one. And I only have a few more here, guys, so don't be afraid. We want to offer less because we heard nobody's buying during COVID. Bernadette, my rising star, are you on the call? I see you there, but I'm trying to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself, Bernadette? Don't be shy. Maybe I'm trying to mute her, but anyways, okay. Maybe I'll pick on somebody else. We want to. Oh, there she is, Bernadette.
Yeah.
Great,
Okay.
great.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Less because of COVID.
Well, I would show them the comparable sales in the market of the area that they want to buy in, and it will and show them that for the past week or so, these are the sales that have come up in the area that you wanted. As you can tell, based on the sales price and the closing price, there's a significant offer. And then I also explained to them why this is happening, like the reason why the offers are much higher at this time, because of the buyers coming into the market all at once, which is the spring buyers, the summer buyers, and as well as those who have really been waiting for the interest rate to go down are out there right now.
Got
and
it.
so with all of this coming in, it just makes a lot of a compounded accumulation of people together with such a shortage of houses that can only go so far for everyone.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of explain.
Got it. Thank you for sharing that with us. Guys, it's funny because these objections, even though I was thinking of them, they're during COVID, they've existed before COVID, and I'm sure John Greer would tell you that he probably heard these 30 years ago. Don't be afraid to ask the big questions. We want to offer less. I want to get down to the root of what that is. So I would say, well, Nancy, Nancy, Joe, why do you guys want to offer less? Do you feel that it's not, the house was priced wrong? Do you feel that it's not worth what they're asking? Why is that? No, we want a good deal. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So let me ask you this. If we offered 20 grand less, you would save an average of $100 to $140, okay, a month on your payment. That's if you get the house, if the offer gets accepted at that price. If you don't get your offer accepted at that price and you get the house, what are you really saving? So can I ask you this? Do you not like the home? And just shut up and wait and see what they say, because sometimes that's what it is. They don't really like it that much. So I'd rather say, look, guys, rather than waste our time writing a low offer on a home that you really don't like, let's go look for one that you really love, one that you're really convinced about. And here's the other thing, guys. You want to make sure that your buyers are convinced over a home, because when they're not, as soon as you go in, at the slightest thing in the inspection, they want to cancel. And why go through that, right? That's just a pain and a false hope. So I always try to find out, what is it exactly why this came up? Why is this objection being given to me? Is it really that they just want to offer less because of whatever? Maybe their family members said, oh, you want to offer less, you'll get a better deal. You never know. There's certain cultures always feel that they need to barter and negotiate to get a better deal. So it's just the case by case, but I would ask the big question as to why. And real quick, guys, we're almost going to wrap it up. We want the seller to fix everything. We want them to fix everything. Here, I'm going to pick on, Renee. Renee's not here. He just walked away.
I'm here, I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
I'm
Awesome.
here.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right, Renee. Renee, yeah, man, we just did our inspection. There's 10 items here. We want this. We want you to get the seller to fix everything.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice? Would you all? Let me ask you again, Mr. Buyer. How much do you really like this house?
We love it, Renee. It's
fantastic. Then let's
Yeah.
leave it. Let's leave it as it is, and let's get you into your home.
Let's get this what?
Let's leave this as it is, and
Yeah.
let's get you into your home.
Got it. But we, yeah, man. But you know what? The screens are all missing on the windows, and the lock on the sliding glass door, it doesn't work, and then the doorbell doesn't ring. And then the drain in that one sink in the bathroom, it's kind of slow. We want to get all that fixed.
Mr. Buyer, do you agree that those items you just referred to are very, very minor items to take care of?
Yeah.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, but we want to feel good about moving in, so we want the seller to pay for all that.
You know, Mr. Buyer, I totally agree with you. You would love to get that perfect home, come in and not have to take care of everything. But there are about five offers right behind you, waiting to get this house. Again, I'm going to ask you, how much do you really want this house, and how much do you really like this house?
Got it. Okay.
Because if you say no if you say that all this, they're gonna just say no and go to the next buyer, because there's like 5 buyers standing in line.
Yeah.
Do you really want to risk not getting this home?
No, not at all. We want it.
Okay, let's get it.
Cool. All right, Renee, thanks for sharing. Guys, on this one, I think it's all on the pre-setup. They always say you're either a problem preventer or a problem solver. I always tell my buyer, hey, so Saturday we're doing the inspection. There are I guess it's 5 important, portions to a home. That's foundation, roof, electrical, plumbing, and HV and AC system. Okay?
Benny, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I get an offer accepted, we offer an escrow. Right before we order the physical inspection, I always tell the buyers a physical inspection is not there so that you can give a list to the seller to make repairs.
There you go.
A physical inspection is here to let you know what kind of condition the property is in.
Currently.
To let you know exactly what you're buying. It's not here so that the buyer can make all response. That's not what a physical inspection is about.
There you go. Well,
I prepared them right before.
There you go. See, guys, that's why he's what is it? Maybe like number 13 in the entire company, because he knows these things. Thanks again, Renee, on that. Guys, the other way is so you say that just what Renee said is we just want to know the current condition of the home. We want to know where it's at. That's not for you to ask for repairs or have the seller fix it. It's just so you know what the current condition is of the home. Now, if they say, hey, we still want them to fix the stuff, I always opt for a credit, guys, because I'll tell them, you know what, you're probably not going to be satisfied with the work at the end of the day. So if they really push and are really on this, then I'll go for a credit. John, go ahead.
Yeah, when I run up against that, I'll tell the buyer that, you know what, the seller is responsible for electrical, plumbing, heating systems, the roof, and pool and air conditioning, that sort of thing, and that's it. So let's take and see if we can focus on those areas and get that plumbing issue and the heating issue, and kind of try to get them to compromise with the seller and keep them focused on the things, just to give them like a guideline.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, exactly. You know, one of my friends also would say, look, if you brought your car around to the mechanic, he's gonna find 100 things that are wrong with your car, but you're gonna tell him, hey man, it gets me to work every day and back, and I go everywhere in it. You know, it doesn't mean that it immediately needs to be taken care of. He's just giving you a status of where your car's at, what condition it's in, and that's pretty much what your inspection is. Let's move on to the last one, guys, and then we'll wrap this up. We want to wait to buy a property because there's too much uncertainty going around. Has anybody gotten this one recently? That almost was like the other one, huh? We're afraid of the market, that the market's going to crash. You know, guys, so like I said, you know, the signs are out there. Things are coming back. You could tell that things are starting to come back slowly. Everybody adapted, if you notice. I was talking to John the other day about, you know, the Long Beach Town Center. You could go to Lucille's, you could go to Islands, you could go to Texas Roadhouse Grill or whatever. John was sharing with me that him and Kelly went over to Sea Legs over in Bolsa Chica, you know, and I've been there. I was telling John that I've been there in the past few weeks, and, you know, nobody's wearing a mask. They might take your temperature at some of these places. It's funny, at Texas Roadhouse Grill, the girl asked, the host asked me, hey, Benny, have you been in contact with anybody in the last 15 days that has symptoms? No. Do you know anybody that has symptoms? No. Have you felt any symptoms? No. Okay, please put your mask on and come in. And I'm thinking to myself, people are going to lie. You know, people are going to lie. Who's going to say, yeah, I feel sick? You know, okay, you can't come in now. But if you look at the numbers, things are changing. Things are coming back to normal. Yeah, I like I said, it might be till October till you really are able to come back out and do open houses and whatnot. But for somebody that tells you we want to wait, there's too much uncertainty, this objection, again, has existed before COVID. And my thing would say this: look, there's always going to be uncertainty. There are no guarantees in life, right? Even if you went to go rent a property, right? You don't know if you're going to lose your job. You don't know if you're going to piss off your new supervisor a year from today and they're going to let you go, right? Life is always constantly changing, right? The good thing is right now, you know one thing, okay? Prices are a little bit higher, but interest rates are ridiculously low, right? So here's something that is certain, is your payment. Your payment on this house is going to be, you know, like the house that I showed the other day, $700,000. Your FHA payment would be $4,200. I think that was the number. I could be wrong, but anyways, $4,200. That's certain. That's not gonna change, right? So, you know, wouldn't you want to lock in something that's certain now and is going to be there for many more, you know, months to come, rather than you don't know what's going to happen a year from now? Things change. You might even get a raise at work, right? You might get fired. Things will happen like that. But anyways, there's one thing that we know for sure right now is that rates are low, meaning the payments are low. So take advantage of that. And with that, guys, we're right up on the hour. Let's wrap it up. But anybody have any questions, anything you want to share? Any thoughts before we go? Oh, Debbie asked, what were the 5 things again, you know, components of a home? And I'll go over them one more time. So it's foundation, roof, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. Got that? So again, that's plumbing, roof, foundation, electrical, HVAC. And Nancy says that last response to that one we want to wait. There's too much uncertainty. She liked that one. So, all right, guys, thank you very much, everybody, for being on the call. See you next week. Make it a great, amazing week. The weather's a little bit funky today, but I'm sure we will have a lot more brighter days coming up this week and an amazing weekend. So see you all. Thank you.
Good meeting, Benny. Thank you.
Thank you.
You.